Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Hit the ground running in this new year. Hit the ground running. Yeah. January 1st, 2023, a new year. A new year for most of the population. New year. Personally, my new year starts on my birthday, but that's another discussion. Anyway. Hit the ground running. You know, people always have those resolutions. Things they're going to do, and they say, yeah, I'm going to do it, and then they end up not doing it because they don't hit the ground running. When I say hit the ground running, I do mean running. Jump into it. Whatever you're going to decide to do for this new year, just jump into it. No excuses, just say jump. You know, it's actually better to jump, really. Many motivational speakers have said that. Sometimes you just gotta jump. You gotta take that leap. And you know what? You might make some mistakes. You might not land exactly the way you want to land. But making that first move does wonders. It changes you in your spirit. It says, look, this is important. You want to commit to whatever it is that you want to do. And it don't have to be major. You know, a common one is people losing weight. A common one. That's a common one, especially after all the holiday eating. And gyms, they will get some people that will hit the ground running. They do. But they kind of stop running around March. Trust me, I've worked in plenty of gyms. But someone has to keep going. See, not only hit the ground running, but you got to keep going. You got to keep going. Even in times that you are slowed down. And you might be slowed down. Sometimes you might be slowed down to a crawl. As long as you're moving forward, that's the thing. But think about what you want to do. I know y'all made resolutions, and you know what? Here's something with that. You can keep going. You can still make up something. You could decide, you could watch this video and say, well, you know what? I always wanted to write that novel. Okay, get started. Get out that pen and paper, get out that iPad or desktop computer, whatever you're going to use, your phone, whatever, and just keep going. Seriously, just do it. You might, of course, there's a cliche, and I do say cliche, wanting to lose the weight like I was talking about. You can do that, or you could put on. You could say, you know what, I want a different type of job. Okay, you can start right now, hit the ground running, looking for another job, or looking for the education or certification to do whatever it is you want to do. You might say, you know what, my goal this year is to travel. You book those reservations right now. Book those reservations right now. Just decide that this is what you're going to do, and just do it. Don't sit around thinking. See, a lot of people, they'll make the resolution, or they'll say, I want to do this. I want to do this. They might even have a list. And then, you know, the day of the first, everybody's, try to sleep off that hangover from the night before. And then, the next day, they still got that list. A couple weeks later, still got the list. It'll be like March. It'll be spring. It'll be spring, which in some cultures is the new year, but that's another conversation in itself. But it'll be spring and you haven't done anything. You didn't hit the ground running. It's one thing to say you want to do something, even aspire to do something. It's another thing to do it. You got to make that jump. You got to make that jump. You got to make that leap. You got to start, you got to jump into that sprint. Just jump into it and then keep going. I can't emphasize that enough. Because one of the saddest things I've seen in life, and not just with the new year, but just talking with people over the decades, men and women who were very talented, extremely, like you could see it, like the talent is dripping off of them. And they'll have an idea to do something with their lives, what they want to do, but they haven't made the move. Because one of the things is, unfortunately, people have fear of failure, or they don't believe in themselves. There's so many things. Sometimes, well, really, all the time, you just got to go ahead and do it. Because let me say something about failure. If someone has a fear of failure, there's nothing wrong with failure. Failure is just a lesson. If you fail doing something some way, do it another way. Do it another way. Just figure out something, improve whatever you got to improve. Learn from it. Say, okay, you failed. Why did I fail? If you look at the histories of very successful people, they look back with fondness on their failures because it gave them a different perspective. They learned something. And there's so many stories. You look at the stories of anyone who's successful, they can tell you a period of failure. There's no shame in it. But it's better that they try it, because you're not going to know what you're going to do until you jump and make that leap, until you start running. Shoot, because here's the thing. You jump into it, right? You start that, you hit the ground running. And there's going, like I said, there's going to be some bumps, there's going to be some slowdowns. But sometimes even the slowdown, even the failure, even the detour can teach you something new. I'll speak for myself personally. Shoot, I can point to some failures, but I learned from them. And then it's helping me now. See, failures are lessons. I'll talk about that in a future video. Failures are lessons. And in fact, I'll talk about it next week. Failures are lessons. But here's the thing. You learn from them. You learn the lesson. But see, to even get to that point, you got to start running. A lot of people aren't going to learn what they need to learn or do what they need to do until they get to that point. Because indeed, even with the failure, that could be taking you in a different direction. And it could even take you in a faster direction, because you know, okay, I can't do it this way. Automatically, since you're committed to doing a particular thing, you look for another way to do it. You just simply find another way, which is, you find out, was actually quicker and more efficient. See how that works? But you're not going to know until you hit the ground running. You are not going to know. You're not going to be able to say to yourself, you know what, this is what I did, you know? Because I'll speak for myself again. When I started publishing, when I started writing, those earlier books, I look back at the style, writing style, and a lot of little mistakes, and I just cringe. But then I learned from it. And that's how you had to do. And see, one of the things with the publishing, I didn't think about it too long. I just jumped into it. Because sometimes the best way to learn something anyway is as you're going along. But so many people have not taken that leap. So many people have not taken that step. In 2023, I don't want you to be one of those people. Every single one of you who is watching this video, you know, whether you're watching it, whether you're listening to it, whatever you're doing, you have a talent. You have a talent. What I usually talk about, talents, using your talents. You know, you have a talent. Taking that run will not only get you to using that talent, but you might discover even more talents as you keep going further. You see how that works? So, I want to say to everyone, Happy New Year. As always, keep rising, but hit the ground running. You got this. I believe in every single one of you. Every single one of you I believe in. Even some detractors, I believe in you too. You got something that you're talented in. Focus on that talent. All right? So that's all I have for now. You know what? I'm going to give y'all a test. In a few months, I'm going to say, okay, in the comments, I need y'all to give me a progress report. Yeah, I think I won't. Shoot, I see every one of you, every single one of you winning, every single one of you, but you just got to do what you can do. All right. And you got to hit the ground running. So that's all I have for today, of course. Happy New Year. Keep rising, and peace and blessings.